If I don't get my wallet back before noon, I'll lose the house my late wife spent 32 years helping me pay for. The little girl couldn't have been older than 8. She ran across the grocery store parking lot holding my old brown wallet with both hands. "Sir, I think you dropped this 5 minutes later." My own son looked me in the eye and accused me of stealing money that had been inside it. By sunset, half my family believed him. And the strange part, that little girl's honesty ended up exposing a lie my family had been living with for years. But let me take you back to where this started. My name is Richard Hale. I'm 66 years old. I spent 39 years repairing heating and air conditioning systems across Greenville. My wife Carol used to joke that I could fix anything except people. Turns out, she was right. Carol passed away 4 years ago. Since then, I've lived alone in the little brick house we bought in 1988. It's nothing fancy, but every room still remembers her. Her favorite coffee mug, the flower garden she planted, the tiny scratch on the kitchen table where our grandson carved his initials when he was 6. Some houses hold furniture, others hold your whole life. My son Brian lived 20 minutes away with his wife Melissa. We weren't especially close anymore, not after Carol died. Still, I tried. I never missed birthdays, I never forgot Christmas. I even helped Brian pay his property taxes 2 years earlier when he fell behind. I told myself families go through seasons. Sometimes winter lasts longer than expected. That Saturday morning, I stopped at the grocery store before meeting my attorney. I was finally signing the paperwork to refinance my mortgage. Lower payments meant I could stay in my home comfortably. Everything I needed was inside my wallet. Driver's license, bank cards, insurance papers, and a cashier's check. $27,000. Not cash, just one check. But without it, the closing wouldn't happen. When the little girl returned my wallet, I thanked her so many times her mother laughed. Nothing appeared missing. I drove straight to my attorney's office. That's when my phone rang. "Brian." "Dad?" His voice sounded strange. "Where's the money?" "What money?" "The cash. I thought he'd called the wrong person." Then he said something I'll never forget. The wallet had $30,000 in cash. Within an hour, Brian had told my sister told my nephew posted online that someone had stolen family money. Nobody used my name. They didn't have to. Everyone knew. It felt like standing in the middle of town while invisible people pointed fingers. Reputation is like a white dress. One splash of mud attracts every eye, even after you wash it. Some people swear they still see the stain. I drove to Brian's house. I wanted to solve it face to face. Melissa answered the door. She didn't invite me inside. Brian finally stepped onto the porch. He looked tired, angry, disappointed, like someone rehearsing a speech. He said, "Dad, just admit you took it." I stared at him. "Brian, there was never cash inside that wallet." He shook his head. "You always liked controlling everything." That hurt more than I expected. 3 days later, my attorney called. The refinancing company wanted extra verification because of the accusations spreading online. The closing was delayed. Every delay cost more fees. I barely slept, not because of the money, because my son believed the worst version of me. Without asking one honest question, silence from your own child is heavier than any argument. Then something happened I never expected. The grocery store manager called. He asked if I'd come by. Their security department had reviewed footage, not because of me, because they wanted to thank the little girl properly. While reviewing video, they noticed something else. The cameras showed Brian. He had followed me through the parking lot. He saw my wallet fall. He picked it up first, opened it, looked inside. Then, he placed it back on the ground. Minutes later, the little girl found it. The video proved something impossible to ignore. Brian already knew there was never cash inside. His accusation wasn't a mistake, it was planned. Later I learned why. Melissa had convinced him that if I looked financially irresponsible, I'd eventually sell my house. They hoped to buy it cheaply before anyone else. The missing cash never existed. It only existed as a story. The family gathered 2 Sundays later. Brian expected another argument. Instead, I placed one envelope on the table. Inside was a copy of the surveillance report. No speech, no yelling, no revenge, just facts. Nobody spoke for almost a full minute. Melissa stared at the floor. My sister quietly apologized. Brian finally whispered, "I'm sorry. I believed he meant it. But apologies don't erase footprints. They only admit where you've walked." I finished refinancing my home the following week. 6 months later, I rewrote my estate plan, not out of anger, out of clarity. Love should never require blindness.